Phil Simmons, the West Indies coach, have said we must beat Bang. Sorry, Phil Simmons had said we must beat Zimbabwe. Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum, and welcome to the show. Your place for the latest news, views, rumors, and gossips in the world of cricket. Today, I'm going to preview the West Indies versus Zimbabwe World Cup match that will be played tonight, 4 a.m. in the Eastern Caribbean and 3 a.m. in Jamaica. Before I do so, I just want to congratulate this wonderful community that we have been building. You have continued to express your views and your opinion, and that's what we're all about. We want you to express your views and your opinion. All of us, as I have said in the past, all of us have players that we would have loved to see at the World Cup. I, for one, cannot understand why Romario Shepherd is not at the World Cup. The statistics on Romario Shepherd. Romario Shepherd averages 39.6 with the bat. How many batsmen in this West Indies team averaging 39.6? His strike rate is 148, close to 150. So he not only score quickly, but his average is very close to 40. So why Shepherd is not at the World Cup is beyond me. The thing about Shepherd is that Shepherd economy is 10.5 with the ball, but he gets a wicket every 18 deliveries. So, but most of these runs that came off Shepherd, most of you will agree with me that these runs tend to came in the closing overs. So maybe we should not be bowling him in the closing overs. I put Shepherd in it to say that all of us have players that would have loved to see at the World Cup. Now, Shepherd is not there. That doesn't mean I'm not going to support the team. I travel all over supporting the West Indies team. That's a picture that I took at Sabina Park. That's a picture that I took in Fort Lauderdale when West Indies play India in Fort Lauderdale. That's a picture I took at the CPL when I was there to watch the CPL in Guyana. That's the Jamaica team warming up. So I travel all over watching West Indies cricket. So I support West Indies cricket. So not because my favorite player is not there, it means then that I am not going to support the team. So we should always support the team. And when someone criticizes our favorite player, it doesn't mean that they have anything against the player. It just means that they want West Indies to win and they want to see that player do better. Because we are all interested in West Indies winning. We want West Indies to win. Now, let us preview the match. The first thing I want to look at is that Simmons, this is what Simmons, the coach, said. We need to beat Zimbabwe first. And he laughed. We need to beat Zimbabwe. That's the first step. That's what Phil Simmons, West Indies coach, said. So we know that we need to beat Zimbabwe. It makes sense. It makes no sense. Continue to speak about what happened yesterday. We were hurt badly. A number of us didn't have breakfast and so on because we support West Indies cricket. But looking forward to the match against Zimbabwe tomorrow. What will happen? Tonight, early tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. Jamaica time, 4 a.m. in the Eastern Caribbean. Continue to quote Simmons. He said that there were too many soft dismissals. As batsmen, you have to pay more attention to your wicket. The quote is there. You can read the quote. Please read the quote for me. The quote is there. So will there be any changes made to the batting lineup? What are the changes that are expected to make to the batting lineup? Now, the top three, Lewis, Myers, and King, in reality, they got the team off to a fairly good start because we were 52 for 2. So in reality, that's not a bad start. It's after that the team capitulated. Should we have opened with King and someone else? Should Myers have dropped down to 6, for example, and Lewis open? Because look at Lewis' record. There are many who doesn't agree that Lewis should be in the team. But he is in the team, and his record is not a bad one. He averages 30, and he has a strike rate of 154. So his record is not a bad one. That is a world-class performer. So we choose to go with Lewis. Lewis, Myers, and King were the top three. Should we continue with this top three for tonight's game. Should there be any changes? Why Brooks bat at number 5? Because again, having Brooks in the order at number 5, whose strike rate is 107. Mark it, in the last 3 matches of the CPL, Brooks strikes at over 160. But this is now international cricket, a step up from the CPL. Do you want a man with an international strike rate of 107 batting at number 5 in your order? Should Brooks, if he plays, bats at number 5? But where, if Brooks is to bat in the top 3, who would you drop out of that top 3? So here what I'm doing. This is my suggestion. I'm suggesting that Reefer comes in for Brooks. If Brooks is not going to bat in that top 3, you do not want a batsman with a strike rate of 107 batting at number 5. That is my position. Should Brooks in the top 3? That's another thing. Maybe I would have him in the top 3 instead of one of those 3. But if the West Indies is not going to bat him in the top 3, they should replace him with Reefer. You cannot have a strike rate of 107 and bat so low in the order. So that is the one change I would make to the batting lineup. If Brooks is not going to bat in the top 3, I don't think he should be in the team. I love Brooks, and at least I am replacing him with another Bajan. But I love Brooks. I would replace him with Reefer though and make Reefer bat at 6. Now, Powell and Pooran need to look in themselves. They cannot, as captain and vice captain, continue to get away with batting so sloppy and getting out so cheaply. So those 2 batsmen need to look in themselves and they need to start producing. Powell and Pooran must produce. Otherwise, if they do not produce in this match, we'll have to look to carrying Johnson Charles in the next match. Maybe we need to probably drop Myers down to 6 and let Lewis and King open and bring Brooks in at 3. That's also another option that we could look at, because Myers bat down the order in Test cricket and he has scored his centuries in Test cricket is down the order, although he have an ODI 100. But that's also another option. But for tomorrow's match, tomorrow morning's match, I would go with Reefer instead of Brooks and bat Reefer at number 6. I will stay with the same top 3, but Powell and Pooran must bat better. Powell and Pooran, they must bat better. When it comes to the bowling, as the coach had said, the bowling did fairly well. We could have done better. And as I said, we need more intensity in the field, because I think that a team that feels sharply, a team that feels with intensity, tend to be teams that bat better. From I was in high school, I heard that a fit body is a fit mind. And I think if you show that intensity in the field, if you are sharp in the field, when it comes to batting, I think that sharpness and that intensity will be carried over to your batting. So I think a good fielding team usually turns out to be a good batting team. And even if you're not making any runs, even if the competition is just better than you, you must show some intensity and commitment in the field. You must show some enthusiasm. You must be sharper in the field. You must be more aggressive in the field. That's the only time that the 10 of you are out there against the opposition. The 11 of you are out there against the opposition, and you must make them feel it. You must make them feel it. You must show some aggression. So I think an aggressive, sharp fielding team, one that show enthusiasm and intensity, that usually goes over to the batting and they usually bat better. So I'm calling for some more intensity in the field. In the bowling department, so I will make one change in the batting department. And the only reason I'm making the change is that because I don't think Brooks served the team batting at number 5. You already have Myers, Lewis, and King batting in the top 3. And if Brooks is not going to bat in the top 3, I think Raymond Reefer should come in and bat at number 6. So that's why I'll make that change to the batting. I'm not necessarily dropping Brooks, but I'm doing this from a strategic point of view, that Brooks will be replaced by Reefer and Reefer will bat at number 6. In the bowling department, the captains, the coach said that the bowlers did well. He said that they bowled well. And to restrict the team to 160 is not a bad total. Although I said I think that we could really have restricted them to 140, but it was down to the fielding. And the thing about the bowling is that I hope tomorrow morning they do not open the bowling with Myers. I really hope they do not do. I do not have anything against Carl Myers, but since Carl Myers started opening the bowling on the 10th of August in that first ODI against New Zealand at Sabina Park, West Indies have played 7 matches since then. He has opened the bowling in all 7 matches. He have gotten 66 wickets. He is giving away 9.3 runs are over, almost 9.5 runs are over, and he got no wickets. So 66 overs, 66, not six, no, sorry, it shouldn't be 66 overs. You have not bowled so many overs because you cannot bowl. I don't know where I get that figure from. That figure is wrong. I think it's 11 overs. It's 11 overs, 66 deliveries. You have bowled 66 deliveries, not 66 overs. He has bowled 66 deliveries in those 7 matches. Overs is wrong. It's the wrong graphics. It's the wrong. That's a typing error. It should have been 66 deliveries. So in those 7 matches that he opened the bowling, he has bowled 66 deliveries. His economy is 9.4. That means 1.5 runs is coming off each deliveries that he bowled, and you have gotten no wickets. So that's the data. I heard about Simmons talking about data, while that's the reason why the batsmen bat where they were batting. I don't know where he got that data from, because Brooks have never batted at number 5 in a T20 international. But then I just bring up that because I'm bringing up Kyle Myers' data. So after bowling in 7 matches and bowling 11 overs with an economy of 9.4 and getting no wickets, I do not see any reason why West Indies should continue to open the bowling with Myers. I really hope that they go with Joseph and Hussain, and I don't think they're going to change the bowling lineup. Maybe I would take out McCoy. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but there's an argument for Cottrell to come and open the bowling and hope to get some wickets, because Cottrell, although remember the Cottrell economy is still less than 8 in ODI cricket, in T20 in that international cricket. His economy is still less than 8. Cottrell's problem is that he cannot bowl in the deck just like Shepherd. But I'm saying that maybe you'd want to take out McCoy and put in Cottrell and see if we can get some early wickets. That's an option that the West Indies could look at, and that is maybe something that I want to do, to let Cottrell open the bowling with Joseph, so we are hitting them with 2 pacers up front. So that's probably an option that we could look at. Play Cottrell instead of Obede McCoy. If there's any change to the bowling, that's the one change I would have made. I would make. Take out McCoy and bring in Cottrell and ask him to open the bowling. I'll make one change to the batting lineup. And as I've said, I'm not dropping Brooks. I'm just saying that tactically, I would replace him with Reefer, because he's that batting in the top 3 and his strike rate is at 107, and a player with a 107 strike rate, you do not really want him to be batting at number 5. That strike rate doesn't mesh at number 5. So I would take out Brooks and bring in Reefer. Let me take a quick look at the Zimbabwe team. Now, the Zimbabwe team, if you look here, they have 4 fast bowlers. They open the bowling with someone named Richard Ngava. He's a left-arm speedster. He bowls at I-130. He and Blessing Muzagarabadi. Those are the 2 persons that open in the bowling. A right-arm fast bowler. Blessing is a right-arm fast bowler. Richard is a left-arm fast bowler. And those are the 2 that opens the bowling. And they are usually followed by Chatatara and Luke Jagwe. Those are 4 fast bowlers in the Zimbabwe team. They played these 4 fast bowlers in their opening match against Ireland, and they bowl very well. They restricted Ireland to less than the 170 that they made, and they restricted Ireland to 170. They did not get up to it, but 170 is still par score, and they bowl with a little bit of pace. They hit the pitch very hard, and Richard, who is a left arm pacer, he tend to bowl quick. He bowl a lot of short ball, and he gets into your face. So Zimbabwe is going to hit us with these 4 pace bowlers, And then the spin will come from Sean Williams, who is a slow left-arm orthodox spinner. Ryan Burley, who's a leg break bowler, and he bats a little. And Shikazara Raza, who bowl off spin. So those are the 7 bowlers that Zimbabwe play in their lineup, and those are the 7 bowlers that they'll be looking for to restrict the West Indies. But I'm particularly impressed with Richard Ngarava, if I pronounce that name right. But his first name there is a left-arm pace. I saw him bowling against Ireland before I fell asleep early Monday morning, and he was really quick. He was a very good bowler. Now, when it comes to the batting, when it comes to the Zimbabwe batting, Raza is the man. If Raza doesn't make runs, you can almost sure that this Zimbabwe team is going to capitulate it. He bats anywhere between 4 and 6. He's about 35 years old. He's bowled off spin, and he's a right-hand batsman. He's very good. In a recent ODI series against India, he scored 2 consecutive centuries. That's Raza. Craig Irwin, who opens the batting as a captain, is also another good world-class batsman. And Sean Williams is the one who he and Raza usually engage in those big partnerships. So the Zimbabwe batting relies around Raza, Irwin, and Williams. But I expect now to choose my winner for this match. I expect West Indies to win. I'm hoping that Pooran comes good. It will be a tricky match. It will be a hard match. I don't think it will be a walkover. And as the coach said, we need to beat Zimbabwe. We need to beat Zimbabwe. And he repeated that. He said that is the first step. We need to beat Zimbabwe. I'm hoping for the West Indies' sake and for my sanity's sake and my mental health's sake and this wonderful community's sake that we beat Zimbabwe. For in the interest of West Indies cricket, whatsoever team play, whether our favorite player should play or not, we need to beat Zimbabwe. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please leave your comment in the comment section and let us build this community and see if we can build it up to 1,000 before the match tonight. Please respect each other's views. Give your opinion. Please put your comment in the comment section. Until tomorrow morning when we do a post-match review, this is Carlton Brown saying God bless you and take care, everyone.